So your kid has autism or is on the spectrum. You want to get them into martial arts, but you're a little unsure how that's going to go. Let's talk about it. Matt Thompson, on Me Martial Arts, Raising a Warrior. Anyway, so just like any other kid, each one's unique.
Unique, New York.
That they're on the spectrum just means that they may have other needs. So some kids on the spectrum are more sounds or smells, some are touch that can be a little bit disturbing. So a lot of times what we try to do is when they come in, I would tell the parents first, you want to be close by. You want to be there, and depending on what the challenges are that your son or daughter is dealing with is how you need to be there. So some really great questions that you're going to ask the instructor at the beginning before classes. The first one's probably most obvious, is just ask them what experience they have teaching people with autism. From there, you're going to also want to discuss with the instructor if your child has like a touch sensitivity. You know, how are they with uniform modifications? Some are a little looser with it, others not so much. The next would be if your son or daughter gets kind of overwhelmed, is there a place where they can go and kind of calm down? Maybe a quiet area. Beyond that, you know, how all those things get dealt with. It's one of those things where each instructor is a little different. I know with me, if a student's having a hard time, we just set them out in the waiting area and let them relax. Other schools may have like a larger facility. They might be able to have a special room or maybe a private lesson area where people can go and just relax for a minute. But I think the big one is that the parents need to stay pretty plugged in and be there. The only times where I've had real challenges with autistic students, it's not with the student, it's when that student has a need and I don't have a staff member who can go directly to them to help them. If the parent was there and I could go, hey, having a moment here, can you sit with them? Parents are there, it's great. And then the parents just jump right in. And then within a few minutes, the kid's eager to come back in and get back after it. If the parents aren't there, I mean, if you have like a few students who are on the spectrum who may have those needs, it's a big ask of the staff to have somebody there to help. It's not unreasonable. Perhaps there are some places that they're set up for that. But your average local martial arts school is not going to be able to do it, not to that degree. Having you there, that's going to be a major help. And then next, just how do they correct the student if there's a problem with the technique? Sometimes you have to touch the student. I know with us, we always ask before we touch, regardless of the age, hey, I need to move you, is this okay?
No touching.
If we have an established rapport with that student, if it's just something small like moving a wrist over, we may just do that gradually just to make it happen. But not everybody's great with that. But then that's not just an autism thing. I have students, so for example, I have some young Muslim ladies that take classes. I'm not allowed to touch them at all. That's just kind of against the faith. So it's one of those things where talk to the instructor, make sure that they're up on it. Now, comparison is definitely the thief of joy. You have to be realistic about what you hope to get out of this for your son or daughter. If they're on the spectrum, sometimes they can perform very well at a surprisingly high level. Like, not because they're autistic, just because they're little kids. But that's not everybody. And a lot of times what you need to do is understand that the process, you'll hear me refer to the process a lot. And the process is perform, assess, theorize, drill, repeat. And so in that, they perform, they go to class, let's say. Then you have to assess how they did. What worked, what did not work. On the things that didn't work, theorize, how can we fix it? Then drill it, practice it before going to do it again. So let's say that they get overwhelmed in about halfway through class. Okay, cool. What was it that overwhelmed them? Find what that was. Didn't like the uniform. The new cleanser smelled funny. All kinds of these things I've heard. And then work through it piece by piece. can they disregard it? Is it a thing where you need to talk to the instructor and ask him to switch to another cleanser? There's a lot of different ways you can handle these things. And then just bit by bit move forward. It's more important that they understand that Kaizen, that small incremental changes, improvements at all time. If they understand that lesson, it's much more important than that they're Bruce Lee or whatever. Let them get that. That's really the battle that we're trying to raise these warriors for.